Get ready. Space exploration looks pretty good, doesn't it? But it's not just about cool rockets and high-tech gadgets. It's about people. And it's one of the great adventures of all time. Welcome to Explorers Wanted. Here you can see what's happening at NASA today and get a feel for what it takes to have a career in space exploration. Now, plans are already underway for humankind's next giant leap off the planet, and you're invited to be a part of that. We have a lot to get done, not a lot of time, and we have to get you ready. So, if you're going to start a journey, then you need to know where you're going, right? Fortunately, NASA has selected 4 possible destinations. First, there's the International Space Station. Did you realize that humans have consistently lived and worked aboard the ISS for more than 18 years? You're going to be making a lot of trips to and from this orbiting space laboratory for many years to come. Next is our closest celestial neighbor, the Moon. The last time we were there was 1972. There's still so much left to explore. You might want to visit a rogue asteroid or a comet. How cool would something like that be? And then there's Mars. We have our robots there scoping things out. Which of these destinations do you feel most closely lives up to NASA's mission of space exploration and discovery? Any ideas? Mars, let's take a look. Yes, we're going to Mars. Imagine standing on the red planet, millions and millions of miles away from the Earth, looking up into the sky to see a tiny blue speck where you were born. Before you can experience this moment, you have to answer 3 questions. Can you survive the long trip to Mars? How will you live on the surface of that planet? And can you return to Earth safely? Sounds pretty difficult, doesn't it? In fact, these are some of the most complex problems that humankind has ever had to tackle, and NASA cannot do this alone. We're going to need your help. The trip to Mars is long and dangerous. We're not going to make it in one giant leap. We have to start with smaller steps first. And these other destinations will serve as a proving grounds to solving the challenges you'll face. Aboard the ISS, astronauts are conducting groundbreaking research to pave the way for the journey, and plans are in the works to literally redirect a nearby asteroid into orbit around our moon. I know that sounds like science fiction. You're going to use that asteroid to perfect the capabilities for your Mars mission. You might even find clues to the formation of our solar system there. Now, meanwhile, the moon will act as a perfect dress rehearsal for Mars. They both have far less gravity than the Earth, and they're both freezing. So, now you know where you're going. You need to figure out how to make that happen. So we're going to bring up Mars and hold it right there, because here's the launching point for the planet, the Kennedy Space Center. Now, from out here, you get a sense of just how fragile and special our little planet really is. By exploring Mars, we might better understand our own home, our past, and our possible future. But before we can push beyond the boundaries of planet Earth, we have to push beyond the boundaries of our current science and technology. Microgravity is punishing on the human body. Your bones thin, your muscles shrink, your immune system weakens. We have to figure out how to keep you healthy on that trip. And even with our more powerful new rockets, you can't take everything with you that you'll need. You live off the land. Back to basics, learning to grow food, make water, build shelters. On the Earth, there are abundant sources to sustain life. On Mars, you have to conserve and reuse everything. And I mean everything. Now, all of these things are being done to help us get to Mars, but human space exploration isn't just about pushing boundaries. It fulfills a deep need to understand our world and to explore the nature and meaning of human life. It's also pretty awesome. We know where we're going. Let's see what NASA's doing today to help us get there. So, coming across, there we go. Whoop, that's too far. Much better. Almost pushed that one off the stage. Let's start here. Put that one under 1. That'll go to 2. I like that for 3 in case we need it. And 4. I have something special for the big screen. You're here today during one of the most exciting times in NASA's history. Since retiring the Space Shuttle program in 2011, NASA has been transferring low Earth orbit space flights to the private sector through a program called Commercial Resupply Services. 2 companies, Northrop Grumman and SpaceX, are conducting resupply missions to the ISS, carrying food, supplies, scientific equipment. It keeps the station running and allows the astronauts to explore. The program is highly successful, but it's just a beginning. Because with NASA's Commercial Crew program, SpaceX and Boeing are fine-tuning their human-rated vehicles with the goal of achieving safe, reliable, and cost-effective access to and from low Earth orbit and the International Space Station. Look at it this way. 100 years ago, there were no airlines. For just a few decades, and millions of people were traveling by air. You probably came here on an airline and never gave it a second thought, right? Well, over the next couple of decades, commercial space transportation has the power to transform our world in ways not seen since the dawn of aviation over a century ago. Now, one thing is certain. It's going to take creative thinkers and problem solvers like you to help us on this incredible journey through space. So now that you've been briefed, you're ready to become part of the future of space exploration. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to work at NASA? Well, whether you're flying the mission or whether you're supporting it from here on the ground, it takes a special kind of person. Someone who's willing to embrace and deal with these kinds of risks and challenges. Maybe somebody like you.
We don't know what the universe is made of. We don't know where the limits of the universe are. We don't know what dark matter is.
Nope.
We don't know.
Is it all figured out? No, it's not all figured out. It's never all figured out.
That's why it's so exciting.
It's just so much, and we know so little about it.
Why should we explore space when we have so many problems here on Earth?
People ask me this question all the time.
We don't take a rocket and fill it with dollars and blast it into outer space. Every dollar we spend is spent here on Earth. And that makes for a better economy.
It makes life better right here on Earth.
Amazing things have happened because of our space exploration. Cell phones,
Solar panels.
Environmental monitoring.
artificial limbs,
Communications.
pharmaceuticals, computer technology.
Solutions to problems here on Earth.
Just imagine what else will come.
So many more inventions and discoveries that we will use in our daily lives.
We only learn by really going out there and pushing the boundaries.
We don't know what's going to happen in the future.
What happened to Mars?
Mars once had an environment similar to Earth.
It has a Grand Canyon, the equivalent of Los Angeles to New York. So there was plenty of water on Mars in the past.
Where did it go? What happened?
How did Mars become a wasteland?
Could it happen here on Earth?
How can we as a species survive?
Could you bring Mars back to life?
We could learn by going off the planet and potentially bring those lessons back.
We learn more about what our eventual future may be.
What if an asteroid is coming towards Earth?
It could wipe out civilization as we know it.
What if we haven't developed a way to stop it? We'd have to sit back and watch it happen.
That will be a disaster. As a people, we would have failed.
We can sit here and do nothing. But did the caveman sit in his cave and do nothing? Or did the caveman look out at the hill and say, I wonder what's over that hill?
When you're part of a NASA team, you have to develop new technologies and solve problems that no one else has ever solved.
You need to figure out how to get hundreds of thousands of pounds of equipment to space.
How long can humans survive on the surface before ill effects?
We don't know right now how to keep food preserved long enough for the trip. So we'll need people to solve that problem.
This is going to be hard, harder than anything anyone has ever done.
Right now, I have no idea how we're going to do that, but we will.
And while you're doing all this, you might answer questions like, is there life out there?
Are we alone?
Are we alone?
Are we alone?
The greatest discoveries are yet to come.
But if you want to be involved in something big, I mean something really big, where you can say you were part of the next step of human evolution, that's what exploring space is all about.
You can stay in the cave if you want to, but you can take a risk and you can walk over the hill and who knows what you'll find.
Look around. You know, the first person to stand on Mars could be in our audience today, because today's young people are the heart and soul of the future NASA. You are the ones that are going to lead us to our new frontiers and beyond, because you are tomorrow's explorers.
All stations verified. Ready to resume count and go for launch. LVTC.
Launch vehicles go.
STC.
Spacecraft is go.
GSTC.
Ground systems are go.
LPS.
LPS is go.
Flight.
Flight is go.
SMA. Mission assurance is go. LPE.
LP is go.
RTD. Recovery forces are go. RSO.
RSO is go. Get ready for the launch.
TDR.
DDR is go.
GLS.
We're go.
CDR.
Flight crew is go.
Attention all stations.
This is the launch director. We are go for launch.
T-minus 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Ignition sequence starts. 3, 2, 1, 0.
On behalf of NASA and the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, I'd like to thank you for joining us. My name is Ken. I'm here to assist you in Journey to Mars, and I hope you have a great day with us at the Kennedy Space Center. Thank you.